in this week's episode of NDVision.
Is that? I'm like, I'll get some vanilla. It's okay. You have the gut of an 18-year-old.
Yeah,
like,
you can eat anything.
Eat anything.
As soon as I pulled the ring out, all I could hear is... That's why it's important that they're Asian, because they literally take photos of everything. Thank you, Asian tourists. We need you. Hello, and welcome to NDVision, which is a temporary name, but it's the visual podcast that you can listen to. This is our first episode, so bear with us. Also, take a shot every time you see a fruit fly dive bomb the camera or one of our faces. The first guest on this podcast is my lovely wife, Nicole, who obviously doesn't need much of an introduction since we've been together for 18 years. And the people who are listening and probably watching all know who you are. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good. What's your specialty?
Math. JK, teaching. I'd say teaching.
Teaching?
Yeah.
Today we just wanted to talk about kind of the timeline of our relationship and reminisce a little bit. Because we have been together for 18 years, and that's a very, very long time. So I would love to hear your side of the story, because I have my side, and everybody's heard my side of the story, but I would love to hear your side of the story on when we first met on our way to that summer class.
I feel like we've told the story a lot of times to our friends and family.
Spoiler alert, we met on a short bus.
Yes, we were on our way to the same summer program, Upward Bound, through Houghton College. And we were recruited from two different school districts because we didn't go to the same school. And you were picked up first on the bus. So by the time they made it to Bolivar from Scio, Nick was already on the bus. So I sat on the bus with my friend, and I remember sitting by the window, like in a little ball. Because I don't talk to people because I'm not very sociable.
This is wintertime, too.
Yes. I remember wearing very big, baggy clothes, like boys' clothes almost. And I was sitting there with my friend, and Nick was sitting across the aisle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was sitting in the back.
But across the aisle.
Well, I noticed you come on. And I was like, oh, I got to get in on this. So I moved up to the empty seat that was across from where you two were sitting.
Okay. So you moved there.
Yeah.
Anyways, he was talking with my friend, and I'm pretty sure you exchanged AOL Instant Messenger information.
Well, I was showing you guys flips on the little digital camera that I was doing on the snowbank. Okay,
that was before. And then you did a flip, but that was a different trip.
Right.
Yeah.
So I have the video of me doing the flips. So this is a video that I showed them. And you have to be better about staying still, madam.
Oh,
so if we can,
I move and talk. I haven't seen this.
You've seen this
in forever.
Well, if you can see which pixel we're looking at here. Here we go. Ready? You want to take a peek?
Okay.
Oh
no.
Cinema as a technology is amazing. All right.
Boop.
Boop. It's not a touchscreen.
I
wish it
know.
was a touchscreen. See?
Oh, yeah, I remember these. You broke your butt.
I did break. What was I, 17? No, 16. I was 16.
You're 16.
With the red hair.
Look at your red
hair. So imagine this on like a 1-inch square.
Like from a camcorder.
Well,
right?
No, it wasn't the camcorder. It was like the first iteration of digital video. It's like 240p or something, which is a video term. Very small.
Oh my gosh.
And then I did a flip off our house.
Into
on
the snow.
But that's the video that I was showing them to show off, so they thought I was cool because it was the Jackass generation.
I don't know. I feel like I was really too bashful and not sociable, and I was like, oh yeah. And then I just thought he was hitting on my friend.
Well,
so I just let it happen.
I was very smartly hitting on her friend, because you never hit on the one you want to hit on. You hit on the friend because then the friend gains trust. And I wasn't necessarily hitting on her. I was just being very nice.
That's true. He was just being sociable with her.
Right. I was just being very nice. So then I was finally able to talk to Nicole, and I got your screen name.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she was just sitting in the corner all by herself. And the friend made you go to this, right?
Yeah.
See, yeah. She never made you go. We can thank her for our whole relationship.
It's true.
Thank you, friend.
Friend. Shout out to friend. No, do you remember what my screen name was? Because yours was Ichiman.
Ichiman.
Whatever.
Mine was, yours was Costos something. Right?
Was it?
I think so. Or
I don't think it was.
What was it?
I thought it was something really stupid like Ratzel NM89 or something like that. It's like my name and my birthday. I don't remember.
If you are a spammer, you can't have our credit card information just because you have a birthday. You don't have a middle name.
You don't have the rest of it. They can figure it out.
Yeah, I don't remember what your screen name was. It wasn't as memorable as mine. Mine was pretty awesome. Everybody, I still get people like, oh man, I remember your screen name. Kyle Robbins, just the other, like it, last time I saw him, mentioned it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Hi, Kyle.
That's funny.
But yeah, so we met on the short bus. And what was your first impression of me?
I was like, oh, this guy's really full of himself.
No.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
I was different in high school than I am now.
Oh, for sure. 110% different. But I was like, I'm a nerd. I sit and I read books. I was probably like, will he stop talking so I can read my book? I probably brought a book. But as you kept talking to me, I was like, all right, maybe he's not a D-bag.
I just talk a lot.
And you're a schmoozer. You've got good game.
I had good game. But we got AOL screen names, and then we just started talking. And then I do remember I remember the first time you came over to the house too. Do you remember that?
To your house?
Yeah.
I remember when you came over to my house.
I remember the first time you came over to my house.
I don't know if I remember.
Yeah, you were in one of your like old frilly skirts, and I wasn't even there yet. Mom came and picked you up or something and brought you back, and you were helping her clean like one of the gerbil or guinea pig cages or something.
Oh, that checks.
Yeah.
That's probably true.
And I walked in.
Will you help me clean this gerbil cage?
And then we watched a movie of some sort.
I don't remember. I'm sure we were up there a lot.
Yeah, I was staying in. I moved upstairs from the basement to my sister's room. I didn't live in a basement. There were bedrooms down in the basement. But I moved up to my sister's, so there was dolphins and blue carpet and everything, and a twin-size bed and bedbug.
And bedbug.
Yeah. Bedbug, did she like you at first? Well, this is when you were 15.
I feel like Bedbug and I always got along.
Yeah.
Okay. She didn't have a problem with me. She had a problem with Zach.
Yeah, Bedbug was my cat, who just passed away recently. She lived to 23 years old. Mm-hmm. So I remember the first time you came over, and we just watched a movie, I think. We had to keep my door open still. And then I remember the first time we came over to your house. Go ahead.
You came over to my house before we went to your house, probably, right? Because I probably wasn't.
Well, yeah, because I think I had to meet your mom or something.
Yeah. So when Nick came over to our house, the Boss Street house in Bolivar, he, what did we do? We played croquet.
Yeah.
So our whole family got together and
I literally met her whole family
through croquet.
And Rick was like 12 or 11, and I gave him $1 to fruit fly. I gave him $1 to like let me win or something.
Really?
I don't remember. I remember I gave him $1. He probably remembers.
I can't believe he was so little, but you're right. He probably was.
Yeah.
Because it was, what, June?
Yeah.
2005?
It was 2005.
Yeah.
So how old was he?
Oh, no, it was July 24th, 2005.
You don't remember me giving him $1?
No. You should do a sound effect every time we realize I don't remember something.
Yeah, because he doesn't remember anything.
I don't remember anything. My memory is trash.
Okay. Let's see here. Let's try to call him in.
Oh gosh.
But yeah, and I met your papa too. And was this, no, wait, hold on. Did I come to your house before did I come to your house before Step? Because I keep forgetting about
Step
Zach
was
and I.
First.
Yeah, because Zach and I drove.
Yeah.
I illegally drove because I just had my permit.
Right.
And I made Zach come with me.
To Houghton. You know what? I tried. Can I look? Well, should I look through the artifacts? I might have an artifact on that.
Hold on, let me turn this down for a second. But yeah, Zach and I drove to Houghton. I love the cooler. Zach and I drove to Houghton to. I don't think he's gonna pick up.
Oh.
He must have a life.
Oh. We could try
he
again.
didn't pick up.
They're probably doing dinner.
Yeah. So. Yeah, Zach and I had the Duster, and I didn't have my license yet. I just had my permit, but Zach had his license, so I was like, it'll be fine, man. We'll just go, because you got your license, and if they pull us over, your licensed driver is like, I'm pretty sure I have to be 21 or something. I'm like, nah, it's fine. And that's when I met your papa.
Yeah.
Because I helped you carry your things in, and your papa was like, oh, what a fine young man. And then you went on one of like the worst weeks of your life.
It was awful.
On Step.
I never did it again. I only did it that one summer.
Yeah. Jesus.
It was so bad.
It was part of Upward Bound.
Well,
That's what it was. That was the thing that we went to, was Upward Bound.
I said that at the beginning.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I was listening.
Yeah. That checks too. We, yeah, it was rough, I think, because we had a hike like a dozen miles in a day.
Yeah.
Through the forest. And I'm allergic to everything in the forest, the whole forest. So it was miserable. I couldn't breathe. Felt like I was dying.
It felt like you were dying.
Yeah.
So that's when I first met your mom. And then when you got back, she said that you should have me over for.
Yeah. No, that's right.
Was that when Mom and Greg had just had like gotten like the baby pig, and they had a baby pig in the car or something that they were showing off?
Yes.
And they picked me up.
Yes. I remember that.
Or was that a different time?
Baby pig. No. Well, I don't know. It might have been the first time, but it also could have been another time. I remember it happening.
So we played.
So we got on the short bus in January.
Right. Step was in the summer.
We AOL instant messaged. We had Step probably in June.
Yep. And then it was probably June or July.
Well, it's probably the beginning of July because we'd have to be out of school.
Right, because we started dating in July.
So in July, we planned, our meetup.
Yeah.
And
meetup.
We didn't meet up until July 24th, and that was when you came to our house. I think that was the first time that my mom let us hang out together at our house.
Yeah.
I remember, though, your mom dropping you off.
Yeah.
When she pulled up.
Because Dana was there, too.
Was she?
Yeah, Eric was dating Dana at that time.
Oh.
And your mom was super tiny.
Mm-hmm.
So was I.
Same.
So then after that, we obviously started dating.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then one of my favorite memory. I have a really great memory that maybe we won't include in this. It might be cut out. But the first memory that I have is army crawling by. So the way her house was set up is it was her garage with the motion light, and then the door was right here, but there was a little milk bin. That was like like this big of a square that opened from the outside and the inside. And as our relationship grew, I would sneak in through the milk because Nicole would leave the inside part open, and I would army crawl behind the garage or in front of the garage so that way I didn't set up the motion light and just climb in through the milk crate. and go up to me. Everybody was sleeping. Well, you usually meet me downstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just had to be quiet because her papa was always sleeping in the chair.
Yeah. It's true.
But you remember the time where we had pulled in and it was at night after a date somewhere. Mm-hmm. And your Uncle Bill came out and knocked on our window. You remember that? I won't go into details of what we were doing.
I don't.
You don't remember that?
No, I think I do. I don't know.
She has the worst memory.
Yeah.
So we were doing something, and your Uncle Bill came out and knocked on the window.
Okay, I do remember that.
You remember that now?
Yeah. Yeah. That wasn't a good time.
It was really funny. He didn't say
played it off. We played it off.
He must not have said something, or didn't. He just didn't understand. Maybe he thought we were cuddling.
You know, that's probably what we said. That's probably what we said.
And then I would drive over. So in the mornings, I would leave really early because your mom would leave really early to go into school. So I would go to their house, and Nicole would stay back, and I'd just go to the house in the mornings after your mom left for work.
Yeah. And then I found out afterwards that my mom knew about that.
Well, she didn't stop us.
It's true. It's true. I'm trying to think. Yeah.
All right. So we oh, your prom. Remember your prom? Or was it a snowball? It was some sort of dance. And then we went to the church.
Oh, the church parking lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the winter weekend.
Yeah, that was the first time I saw your boobies. But someone saw the duster at the church and told your mom about it. And how did we get out of that?
I don't remember.
You're like, it's not true. It's rumor going around or something.
I don't remember. I don't know. I don't remember that at all.
Yeah. You don't remember the church?
No, I remember the church. I don't remember people finding out about it.
Yeah.
Everybody talks in a small town.
It's true.
Yeah.
And then, so as our relationship progressed, do you remember when, as your dad would put it, the hit the fan?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He messaged me that on AIM while I was at school.
Really?
Yeah.
How did you get it at school?
We had our ways, but I had.
This was before phones that had like things on it.
Oh, it was on computers.
Oh, because you had it on a computer at school.
Yeah, it's before school started blocking everything.
What?
Sorry, kids growing up nowadays that the school blocks everything. Because we used to play Quake.
They have access to everything already on their phones, so.
That's true. But yeah, your dad messaged me on AIM. I was like, hey, Fred, how's it going today? And he's like, well, the shit's hit the fan. Oh, no crap. He's like, well, it's hit the fan. Hit the fan. Oh, no. And on your guys, I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, we know. I'm like, you know what? He wouldn't say it.
Yeah.
And then he said he knew that we've been sleeping together. Which was, my heart like went, and I literally started sweating when we were at school.
He's gonna come and find you.
I wasn't too afraid of him. I was more afraid of just we wouldn't be able to see each other again.
Yeah.
And we didn't for a while.
Mm-hmm.
It was like,
I think I was grounded for 8 weeks.
It was something.
Yeah.
You didn't make it that long. We still found a way. I don't remember exactly what it was, but we still found a way.
Yeah, we weren't supposed to call each other, but what, 1 day a week or something?
It was something.
You remember
like that? Yeah. They tried to keep us apart, which parents, don't try to force your kids to do something because it's just going to make them want to do it more.
It's true.
For the most part.
That's true.
But
I'm sure we'll get to that point where we'll be tempted.
But Mom and Greg found out before that.
Yeah.
Because Bedbug pulled a wrapper out of my room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that. I remember your mom saying something to me.
Yep.
Yeah.
They were more chill about it than your parents were. I mean, they weren't happy, but they're more chill about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're being responsible-ish.
Yeah. And then I moved because I graduated, and I moved down to Maryland to start doing go to Sheffield, to New York. So this is high school.
That was 2 years later.
Well, I know, but nothing really. I mean, we just had a normal high school relationship.
That's true.
We probably broke up for like a week or two here and there. I don't remember.
I feel like one of my favorite things that we did was your junior prom. On the boat.
Out on the boat.
That was the coolest.
Yeah.
I have an artifact for that.
An artifact from it?
Mm-hmm. Oh, here, you can look at these from Step.
Oh, these are from Step. Well, Nicole's looking for her artifact.
These are it. Here's.
But yeah, for the most part, we had a normal. This is Kyle Dunham. Hello, Kyle. Stefan, just zoom in on these.
They're going to be too far away.
Ah, that's 4K.
Here's our pictures from your.
There's multiple pictures?
Yeah.
Where did you find these?
We had them printed. They were from a disposable camera, I'm pretty sure.
Oh my God. Look at your booty.
Oh, here's another one from that dance. Oh, and this one.
Fun fact, I had cheekbones in high school. So oh my gosh. Ashley Powell. Hey, do you remember when you dated Jared? Jared Goodrich? I don't remember that kid's name. This one, I remember this one. We have this one printed out at home. Yeah. We have this one printed at home.
Yeah, it was a disposable camera from Kmart. R.I.P. Kmart.
You were so pretty. I mean, you still are pretty, but you were so pretty.
That's a good picture.
Yeah. Woo-cha! Fruit fly.
I like that one.
This boat. Oh, Roger, Rainey, and Lee. Was it Lee?
I don't know.
They rode with us in the Duster up there. I wish I had pictures from the Duster.
I might have some somewhere.
That's crazy. This is your papa in your house.
Oh, never mind. It ended up in the pile.
What are these other ones? I guess we did go to a couple dances, didn't we?
Yeah. So this one was a different winter weekend or maybe homecoming.
Had a red power tie on.
So this is the first summer we were dating, I think, before we started dating.
Wow.
Emily and I went to Washington, D.C., or I went with Emily's family.
Emily, you got some hardcore RBF going on right here.
Oh, that one caught her off guard. This one's a good one.
Okay. Well, this one's smiling.
I mean, when you take a picture now, you get one,
Look at your legs.
one shot. I look like a baby.
What are you, 16?
15.
15. Man, you did have hardcore curls back then, too.
Yeah, I lost my curls since gray. Before gray, they were okay.
Right.
This one's my favorite. So
yeah, we had school dances, and we had a normal. I feel like a normal high school relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Did we have something else before me moving down to?
That.
Do you have any other artifacts?
Oh yeah, this necklace on this is this.
Oh, you still have the same necklace?
Yeah, the chain broke, but I kept the pendant. You gave that to me for our first Valentine's Day.
Man, even
you
back
mailed
then,
it.
I had style.
Look at you mailed it.
We should take this to Walker's to get it cleaned up.
He made me this card, and you mailed it to me. Because we were grounded. We were still grounded from each other on Valentine's Day. So did
I spell intellectual right?
I don't know. I don't remember.
I was going to write something intellectual, but the card took too long to make. Happy Valentine's Day, love it. I was a little stud back in the day.
Yeah.
People used to say I looked like Jonathan Taylor Thomas. I'm impressed with my ability to pick out amazing jewelry back then.
Yeah,
this is probably from Kmart, guaranteed.
Well, it was in a pretty box too.
Yeah,
and I think it has my birthstone. So you mailed me this.
Yeah,
and then I mailed you this. You don't have to read it.
Hold on, no. Oh, baby, you ripped it.
You don't have to read it.
I'm gonna read it. Fate will lead us down the ever-changing road of life, where everything will come together in the end. All my love on Valentine's Day, Nicole. How thoughtful and amazing was that? And I'm like, I was gonna write something intellectual, but the card took too long to make. And you just ripped this.
I didn't mean to rip it. I didn't know what I wrote, so I was nervous.
I miss your touch, your sweet touch.
Oh God!
On my soft skin.
No, I found this in your stuff.
In my stuff?
Yeah. When did I find it? After we moved back.
Oh.
After we moved back, and I found it in a box of your old things, and I was like, "Holy shit! I remember making this card."
Oh.
So I'm like, I'm gonna tuck it away in my keepsake bag. So.
Wow. Well, now we have to tape it.
Now what?
Now we have to tape it.
Oh, I know. It's a relic. I even dated it.
What's the date?
It says 2008.
2008?
Yeah, I guess. Well, maybe it wasn't.
No way. That's when we got married.
We got married in 2010.
Or that's when we got engaged. Okay.
Yeah.
So continuing on with the story, I moved out. Maybe that's after I moved.
Oh, that
might be after I moved. Okay, so it'll tie in. So after I moved down to Maryland, I moved into the basement of my papa's house because he had an apartment down there. What is this? What is this? This is going to be the photo for the
thumbnail
podcast here. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
And this one was our first winter weekend at Bolivar.
Oh my God, look how long my hair is. This is back in the emo days. Yeah. Everybody had long hair, but I still didn't want it too long. Also, I was too poor to get a haircut.
We'll trim it for you.
But I moved to Baltimore, where I was going to Sheffield, and you were in your senior year of high school.
Yeah.
And she broke up with me.
It is true.
She did.
For a whole 8 weeks?
She broke up with me for another man.
That's true.
That she danced with when I went to your senior prom. Do you have any pictures from your senior prom?
I don't know. Probably not. If I just start taking things out, you're going to see all my surprises.
Okay. But yeah, so we broke up and she started dating another guy. And then I got done with school and I moved back and I worked on some fun. So that was when I was working for Searstone.
Was this before that?
It had to have been after. You look older. Oh, maybe this was the summer we got back together and I was still working for Searstone.
That could be.
So I moved back home. I was working for Searstone with Greg, and I had the opportunity to go on this Geico commercial. So I left where Greg told me, he's like, go. And I went back down to Maryland, filmed this Geico commercial. I was a PA, which is production assistant on, and came back and I got a new car, the Cobalt.
Yeah, that money was burning holes in your pocket.
Yeah, I was making a lot of money for how old I was, but I was working my butt off for it. I was ripped.
Yeah.
You could see every muscle in my body.
Mm-hmm.
But Nicole messaged me one morning, it was out of the blue. And you were like, I remember it specifically because Greg kept yelling at me for sneaking on my phone to talk to you. But you said, would you ever take me back? And I can't remember what I replied.
I don't remember.
I was probably like, maybe.
Probably that's what you said.
Yeah.
It's in my old email.
Well, I like drove back and this is your story, which you probably don't even remember. I drove back and I met you at like Top Hat with one of your friends. Because I remember you telling me your friends were like, you should probably talk to him again because he's going to be famous one day. He worked on a Geico commercial. Do you remember that?
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah, and we just drove around and talked.
Oh, no, I remember that. I thought you were saying, do I remember my friend saying that?
Do you remember your friend saying that?
No.
Because you told me that they said that.
I don't remember.
I don't remember which friend it was.
It doesn't even matter because I don't remember things that actually happened. So.
That's true.
No, I do remember driving around with you and meeting you at Top Hat.
Yeah, we just talked.
Yeah.
And then we met up at Grandpa's Pond back again. And then you broke up with a person and we got back together.
Yep. And our first outing together was my graduation party in the end of July.
Yeah.
So it was...
where we were back and people were like, ooh.
It was very scandalous.
Scandalous. That was 2008.
Yeah.
And that was summer 2008.
Mm-hmm.
And then the proposal, I proposed to you in, did you bring the photo album by chance?
Dang. I was going to grab it off the wall and I didn't.
Maybe I took a screenshot of it. Well, we were, so come October, my mom had saved this teardrop diamond ring that my dad had gotten for her for having me. And she saved it all those years until I was ready to propose. And I was like, Mom, I think Nicole and I are getting pretty serious. She's like, you sure? I'm like, yeah. So I had the idea because we would go to Letchworth on our anniversaries. So I had the idea to go to Letchworth because I knew we liked it there. And I was like, let's just hike around. So we're walking around. That's right. I was looking for a thing. So we're walking around and
he's pulling me up these hills. Like,
Yeah.
It's not like, let's stroll. It's like, let's hike this mountain.
I had so much adrenaline going through me.
And the whole time we're walking around, all I'm thinking of is like, oh my gosh, is this guy going to ever stop? I need to go sit. And I was like getting kind of upset.
Really?
Oh, I was upset. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Not like mad, angry, but like, when will it end?
You've never liked walking.
No.
So we're walking around and I just had the ring, mind you, in my back pocket. So as we're hiking, like whenever Nicole would go up in front of me, I'd like tap my butt to see, because it wasn't in the case. It was just in there. And I'm like, if I lose this ring, my mom's going to kill me. And then I won't be able to pose also. But I kept tapping my butt and we finally make it back to the, to where the falls were.
Right,
we were overlooking the
It's
falls
like the
back in the
overlook.
parking lot.
Yeah.
And I was an idiot and forgot that digital camera with the little square thing in the car. So all we had was Nicole's Razor flip phone. She had a Razor flip phone. So we go down there. There's this lady walking, and I was like, "Hey, would you mind taking our picture?" And she pulled the camera up, and she took one, and I chickened out the first time.
Yeah.
Yep. And then she's like, "Well, I don't know if that turned out. Let me take another one." And I worked up enough courage. I'll find it and we'll put it in. We'll put it in so you can see it.
Yeah, I can't find it either.
It'll be up here. But I finally worked up the courage and I got down on my knee and you started kicking me.
I kicked you.
Yeah. You're like, What are you doing? Get back up.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Get back up.
Yeah. So, because these people were taking, like, you asked them to take a picture of us. So I thought you were doing something inappropriate or like weird on the ground. So I was like, get back up. Get back up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I pulled out the ring, and she's she's like, "Oh my God, what are you doing?" And during this time, while we're getting our photo taken and everything, a big tour bus full of Asian tourists, and it is important that they're Asian, is like unloading, and they're walking up the path to where we were we must have been at the highest point over the falls.
Yeah.
And as soon as I pulled the ring out, all I could hear is. That's why it's important that they're Asian, because they literally take photos of everything. Thank you, Asian tourists. We need you. But all I can hear is because you look over and you just see this whole group of tourists just with their cameras out taking pictures. And my favorite part about, obviously, you said yes. And the lady with the razor flip phone comes up, and she's shaking. She's like, "Oh my God, I hope I got that." And she did perfectly. But I look down, and there's a couple that's about our age, maybe a little older. And the girl, who I'm assuming it was his significant other, is just glaring at him. And the guy and I lock eyes, and he's just like, "Thanks, man." Give me that look.
Should I put that back in there?
You should probably put that back in there. We've already broken one artifact today.
The artifacts.
But so yeah, let me show him this picture. I was still working for Searstone, so we went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because we were working in Cleveland, and I am way darker than you.
Oh yeah,
way darker. That was my darkest summer, I think.
Oh yeah, you're so dark. That's crazy.
Yeah, I look Cuban.
You do.
I went beyond Puerto Rican. I went to Cuban.
It's showing.
So that's 2008, and then I had the insane idea, which I'm sure stuff led up to this, but I had the insane idea of let's move to Philly.
Yep.
So you were going to Houghton at the time, and you were like, "Okay."
Yep. I transferred schools
to your mother's dismay
to a community college, and then
you started at Temple.
No, Temple was what I ended at.
So you went to DCC? Yeah. Delaware Community College.
Yeah. I got my associates there.
But as we were driving down to Philadelphia, we kept going by these signs that said media. And I was like, how cool would it be if I could work in a town called Media? So when we got down there, I was on unemployment from Searstone because we moved down. We didn't move down in the summer, did we? No, we moved down on Christmas.
It was Christmas, yeah.
Yeah. So I was just laid off from Searstone. So I was getting unemployment. So and that was like $400 a week.
You've made a lot of money.
Which was like still ridiculous. But we found an apartment in what we did not realize was the most dangerous part of the Philadelphia area, a city called Chester.
And we were in a very sketchy part of the city.
No, we were in the outskirts. We were in the good part.
Well, not the best part.
There was a lot of Hispanics.
The medium part, maybe, but it was not good.
There wasn't as much crime.
Yeah.
Do you remember Dollar Magic? I miss Dollar. We still have stuff from Dollar Magic.
The spoons.
Yeah, we still have
and a couple mugs.
Things. Yeah. The Philadelphia mugs.
Do you remember Amelia's?
Yeah, the discount grocery store where like 90% of the stuff is expired, but we would go there because we were poor.
It's like $1 this, $2 that. I'm like, I'll get some vanilla. It's okay. You have the gut of an 18-year-old.
Yeah, you can eat anything.
Eat anything.
Our apartment was
$500 a month.
Yeah, $500 a month. It was 2 bedrooms. It was a big apartment.
It was a good apartment.
It wasn't big. It was a good apartment.
It was good for us.
It was probably the size of this room.
But it was very spacious.
Yeah. The living room and the kitchen. And our sofas, because we had a sleeper sofa.
A futon.
A futon, thank you. But Paul, Nicole's brother, helped us move. And literally the first night he broke it because he's a big guy.
Yeah.
He laid on it and it just went.
I mean, I think we got it from Kmart, right?
Yeah.
So probably wasn't the highest quality.
We had our bed from my friend Kevin's yard sale. So I think it was Kevin's old bed. Who knows how many socks he filled in that thing.
That's weird.
But we made it work though. And after we moved down there, I was like, oh my God, I've got to find a job. And I'm a persistent mother bucket. So I literally was like just
door to door
on production companies like, hey, if you need anybody, I moved here. I'm here. And one from Media, the town of Media, called me and they were like, hey, we're starting this because this was after the crash. This was after the 2008 crash. So the stock market crash.
Yeah, it was like February 2009.
Yeah. So the stock market had just crashed and the Wharton Business School down there at UPenn was doing this where CEOs would come in and talk to the students about the crash and how they saved their companies and all this stuff. They just needed someone to help film and edit these things. So I went in and I did like a quick test video for them and I didn't hear anything for 2 weeks. And they called me like, it was like 3 weeks after that, wasn't it? Because remember when I did the door hanger thing?
Yes.
And I thought I was literally going to be hanging doors, but it was just like
the pee my pants.
It was like advertisements that go like the
little hook
like
things
for pizza, like pizza coupons or whatever. And I'm like, babe, I can't do that. I did that for one day. I didn't even get paid. I like took the bag and left that job. That was terrible. Well, like immediately after that, I got a call from Rhonda, and she's like, hey, we'd like to offer you this position. And it was supposed to be a temporary position.
Right.
But they kept renewing the contract. So that was, I think, my favorite job I've ever had, besides Genesee Valley Media, of course, but working for Fabian Baber with Ron and Jerry and Finn Haas and Nick and Bridget.
That was a good time when you were there.
Becky, yeah.
Yeah.
They gave me my break.
Mm-hmm. Not all your experience, but a lot of it.
Yeah. Well, we were filming just straight educational shows. So it was awesome.
Yeah.
And so we lived
when we lived on frozen bag meals.
Oh, frozen bags. If I never have one of those again. But we used to love them because they're like, oh, there's broccoli.
I just like that it only took one pot in one bag and I didn't have to cut anything or wash too many dishes.
I think I just swallowed a bug. Where are these flies going? These fruit flies everywhere.
Oh my gosh.
But we lived in Philly and Philly was awesome. I miss it.
Me too.
I think Philly will always hold just a special place in my heart. But we moved to Delaware, though. We did move to Delaware. So we moved from Chester to Delaware. We got a much bigger apartment because we were doing well.
Safer.
And oh my God, you remember the snowstorm?
Yes. We were trapped.
Yeah.
And they had to like bring fire trucks and stuff.
Yeah.
Or when they had the flood and the bridge wiped away.
Yeah. And Reese, look at my boobies, Reese. Reese is like, I'll drive over with my Land Rover and pick you up. And he did. He went through the back.
VIP.
Yeah, and picked us up. But
oh my gosh, that was crazy.
Look at my boobies, Reese. Look at them. Do you like them? They were swingers, by the way. Nicole attracts swingers.
I guess so. I don't know.
Because he used to babysit their kids.
Yeah.
But they, so we saw them and oh my gosh, I got to find this picture from back then as I'm talking. And then we went to Delaware, and then Mom and Greg were moving out of their house that was on Comfort. And we asked if we could move into there because Nicole was doing her inner city teaching, and there was like fourth graders that were pregnant, and
they would throw desks at me. And they'd tell me, I'm going to hook you in the face.
I'm going to hook you in the head.
Or hook you in the head.
So
I was like, I don't want to be hooked in the head.
Don't hook me in the head. We moved back. We decided to move back. I left Fabian Baber, which was sad, but you transferred to.
No, I did. I didn't go to school for a year. I went and I substitute taught at Bolivar for a year.
Oh, that's right.
Until I started working.
You had
Literacy
graduated.
West.
You graduated.
Yeah.
You got your bachelorette.
No,
or master's.
I had my associates.
Yeah, you had your bachelor's, master's. I don't know. You've been a lifetime school student, so I don't know where we're at. But yeah, so we moved back and we moved into Country Hollow, and those were like the dark days.
Yeah, they weren't great.
Because
although there was lots of fun parties, but
no, there was a lot. There was fun. It was the dark days of our relationship.
Yeah.
Because we moved back, and then all my old friends started hanging out, and I wasn't like making like any money. You were making all the money.
Yeah.
Because that was when I was like Giant or something.
Yeah, you did Giant in the hospital, right?
I don't think I lived at the hospital when we were on Comfort or worked at the hospital. Did I?
Maybe not. Maybe that was a harder place.
Yeah, I worked at the hospital on Harder Place. So we
I forgot about Harder Place. We've lived in a lot of places.
That's what rebuilt our relationship, was Harder Place.
No, I know. I mean, like, I haven't thought about it in a while.
Harder Place actually made it easier place.
In our hearts.
But we separated.
Yeah.
And we separated for like months.
It was on January 18th.
How do you remember that?
And we got back together on April the 4th.
How do you remember nothing?
That's all I remember.
That. So
it's 4 months-ish.
Yeah. So we got back together. And we moved to Harder Place.
Right.
Do you have any photos from Harder Place?
No, but
I probably do somewhere. So we moved to Harder Place in Wellsville, and I'd gotten a job at the hospital, and Nicole was still working for Literacy West. So that's when, like, we weren't having any money struggles anymore.
Right.
We were safe because our apartment was dirt cheap.
Yeah, it was really cheap.
We found out that my grandfather owned the apartment. So, like, we didn't pay any utilities because I would, like, mow the lawn and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Was it something like that?
Yeah.
So they paid for our utilities, and I, like, did upkeep.
Right. Because we had a rider from Comfort Hollow.
Comfort Hollow, yeah.
Yeah. The riding lawnmower was our first marriage couple purchase.
Yeah.
That was like big money.
It was like
that we did together. You know, like you had your Cobalt, you had your own car. I had my own car, but now we had a lawnmower.
We had a lawn. Oh my gosh. I forgot to say we got a dog down in Philadelphia named Tubby.
Yeah.
Who just passed away this year.
Very sad.
14.
It was in April.
Yep. But yeah, we bought the mower, so I would do that. And so we got a discount on our rent. And then, and that's when I got the job at ESI, right? Because we befriended Pat Sawyer at Better Days, because that was when we were still going to the bars and stuff.
Yeah.
And I got a job at ESI. And you...
So did you do Giant to ESI?
I went Giant to hospital to ESI. ESI was after the hospital. Because again, I had to film like a test thing.
Yeah.
And they called me back like the next day.
Right.
And I was just going to do a freelance, a couple projects. But I remember the boss was like, I don't have time to wait around for you to work on other things. I just want to hire you full time. And I lied, because he asked me how much I made down in Philadelphia. Uh-huh. And I told you this, remember?
Probably.
So I lied, and I was like, I made $32,000 when really I made like $24,000.
Right.
Because I was like, fuck it, what I have to lose.
Right, right. They don't know.
Right. And he's like, okay, well, how about 34,000? And I'm just like, my insides are going like, because I was like 22, right? I was 24.
No,
I was younger.
Yeah, I would say 23, maybe.
23.
Yeah.
Because I was working there for 2 years before we had Gwen.
Yeah.
So that would have been, I started working there in 2013.
Yeah. 24.
maybe 2012. It was 2012.
Okay.
Because it was a whole year before we got pregnant with Gwen, or you got pregnant with Gwen. But we lived down there, and we had befriended Pat Sawyer at the bar, so we were actually renting his old childhood house, like where he grew up, on Dutch Hill. That was the Dutch Hill house.
Oh yeah.
And I think besides where we're at now, well, actually, I really liked Wilmington.
Yeah, Wilmington was nice.
But I think the best apartment that we had was definitely Dutch Hill, the Dutch Hill house.
Oh yeah, it was a house.
It was a tiny house.
It was a tiny house.
It was like the size of an apartment. Yeah. But that was awesome.
Yeah, I liked that house.
That's when, and then you got pregnant, a first time.
Yep. That was when we were at Harder Place.
Was it when we were still in Harder Place?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so then I got the job at ESI. Things were going well there. And we were living in Harder Place.
And we started looking for a new place.
Yeah.
Because
the Harder Place was just, well, no, we had Gwen. We had Gwen in Harder Place. Or not Harder Place, Dutch Hill.
What?
Oh, I had gotten the new job, and then we were looking for another place. And then we moved to Dutch Hill.
Yes.
From Harder Place.
Yes.
So we were living in Harder Place, and everything was going great.
Yeah.
And you got pregnant with Gwen.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's when shit hit the fan.
Beep.
That's when hit the fan.
The beep.
So Nicole got pregnant. We had like a closet off of our bedroom loft upstairs. It was just a loft upstairs. Mm-hmm. And we made her nursery in that.
Big walk-in closet. Yeah.
And we made her nursery in that. And we became parents.
Yeah.
Which is wild.
It feels like a lifetime ago, but it also feels like yesterday. Does that make sense?
It does. Oh, I found it. So this photo is from when... Yeah.
Oh. I was like, wait, what?
So this photo is from when we were... sorry for blowing people's eardrums out. When we were friends with Reese and Christina. I can't believe I found that. I know. These
Is that what you were looking for this whole time?
Yeah, I was looking for that photo.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. But we just became parents.
Yeah.
And that was awesome.
When I had Gwen, what was I doing? Oh, that's when I had been hired to work full time at Bolivar.
Oh, yeah.
I was there for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because we had Gwen and Gray.
4 years.
You had to have been 4. Because we had Gwen and Gray when both for free. Because you had that awesome insurance. If you can work for a public school, do it.
Do it for the insurance.
Yeah, you won't make a lot of money.
Made $9 solid dollars an hour. However,
awesome insurance.
Everything is
kids nowadays don't understand. When I started working, it was still $6.40 was minimum wage when I started working up at Kent's.
Oh yeah, I think I got $6 an hour when I worked for Literacy West.
No,
Literacy Volunteers when I was in 9th grade.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was wild.
Yeah.
This is hard to think about when Gwen was that little. It's been so long. It was 8 years, 9 years ago.
I just can't. I don't know if it's because we take too many pictures or we have all of our little videos. I definitely take
too many pictures.
Too many is the question because Do I remember things because I remember being there, or do I remember things because I've seen the picture?
Right. And we, so we had Gwen, and one of my favorite stories. We were still on Dutch Hill. This is before we bought our house, but we went. You were in choir because you had started choir. When did you start choir?
2011. When we were on Comfort Hollow in Sile, I was going to choir.
Okay. So you were at choir one night, and Gwen was like 3 months old or something.
Oh.
And I was feeding her. It was like my first night with her, I think by myself. And I was feeding her a bottle. We're just chilling out. And all of a sudden I hear like this.
Oh, I was thinking of a completely different situation.
Well, we'll get to your situation.
Okay,
so my situation is it's in the dark, right? Because I'm trying to put her to bed. And I just hear that. And I'm like, I bring up and I put the bottle up to the window and the nipple was gone. Do you remember this one?
Yes,
now?
I remember.
The nipple was gone.
Yeah.
And my first instinct is, hold on, holy, she swallowed this nipple. So I'm like going and like, I'm shoving my finger down Gwen's throat because I'm like, I gotta get this nipple out. And I'm crying and freaking out. And she's wailing and freaking out because I was crying. I'm like, I'm killing my baby. And I like finally like, I'm like, I don't feel anything. I don't feel anything. Her airway has to be clean because she's still crying.
Right.
And like, cause wasn't even thinking about that. I'm like, oh my God, she's crying. She can breathe.
Right.
So I turned the light on and she just sucked the nipple so hard
It popped back
that
in.
it popped back in.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm just like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to Gwen as I'm doing that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What story were you thinking of?
Nothing. It was gray. I got them mixed up.
Oh.
My favorite question or situation from when Gwen was a newborn baby was when I was picking her up in the middle of the night and she was only like 2 or 3 weeks old. And I was changing her diaper. And as I took her diaper down, she projectile pooped.
I remember.
Up the sleeve of my
I remember this.
my sweater.
Yeah.
I was like, how can you poop with your poop cannon? Like, and it's like on the wall. It was crazy.
Her poop cannon?
Yeah, it was like a poop cannon.
Yeah, Farter Place was awesome. I have a lot of good. That's when our relationship kind of started hitting its stride.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah.
Well, we needed a bigger house, and I have the video just came up. And remember that the video came up on Facebook Memories of us like coming out of Community Bank with our
Keys and our mortgage.
Yeah, with our keys and our mortgage.
Yeah.
And it was awesome.
Yeah.
We moved in the week of Gwen's birthday.
August 1st.
So we had Gwen's birthday party, and we were still unpacking when we had Gwen's first birthday party. She was 1 year old. Mm-hmm. So she spent a whole year in Dutch Hill.
In Dutch Hill. Yeah.
Pat and Sandy were super sad to see us go.
It was a nice house. I enjoyed living there. And it was a nice little neighborhood. And
because we suggested Andrew and Tiffany to them as, and I don't know as long.
Yeah. I loved that it was by that little stream and we could walk that big path.
Yeah, and I fished there. Yeah.
That was super fun.
Because our neighbors mowed paths.
Yeah. Yeah. There was like this path through the forest.
Yeah.
And that's how I got myself into labor with Gwen was I just walked the paths into the forest. Yeah.
You're a fairy into the forest.
Fairy.
So we were looking for a house, and we obviously we bought our house, but we looked for a long time. We looked at houses.
I'd say it was at least a year.
Yeah, before we found one that was in our budget that we could afford.
Right.
And that.
Which mortgages are weird because I don't know. The way they figure out qualifications doesn't make sense.
Yeah, right. So why did we decide that we wanted to move to Andover?
I think it was just the house. I don't think we even cared about what town it was in.
We just wanted to live in a town.
Town.
No, I think we did decide on Andover because Wellsville taxes were too high.
Yeah, I mean, I think we were open to anything in the surrounding Wellsville area because I was working in Bolivar still.
Right.
And you were in Wellsville, so we were looking at, Scioto, Allentown.
Oh, yeah.
We were doing the whole thing.
Friendship.
Yeah, we did look in Friendship.
Which there's nothing wrong with Friendship.
There's some really nice houses in Friendship.
Purple House, remember?
Yeah.
But we weren't even supposed to look at our house.
Right.
We looked at the house behind our house, the greenhouse.
Yep.
And our Sandy, Pat's mom, who uses our real estate agent, was like, "Okay, you ready to look at the other house now?" And we're like, "Other house? What are you talking about?"
What?
She's like, "Didn't you want to look at the house behind it?" And I'm like, "No." So we just walked down there, and we walked in, and we're like, "How much was this house again?" And it was like $52,000.
52. Yeah.
No, it was 55. We ended up paying 52.
Oh. Whatever.
Yeah, it was listed for 55, and the upstairs was gutted.
Yeah. Bare floors, not painted walls.
Right.
Yeah.
And we didn't realize, but the carpet was like 30 years old.
Or more. Yeah, right. It was really old.
But everything else was just cosmetic. Like
right.
It just got a new furnace. It just got a new septic.
Yeah.
Remember that?
And it had a new roof. Like it was less than 10 years old.
Right.
Roof.
So we went into the process of buying the house, which is a nightmare.
Yeah.
At least it was back then. And we got it. And we moved to Andover. We had Gwen's birthday party, and we've been there ever since.
Yeah. Yeah. Picking away at house projects.
Yeah. And that's just, I remember when, because our relationship got really strong after we moved in, because we were like working together to keep a kid alive, and we just bought this house. So we were like, holy crap, we're adults now.
Yeah. It was everything all at once.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we were young. I mean, I was 24.
Yeah. I was 25.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, we weren't young necessarily to buy a house in this area, but for this generation, I'd say we were young. We were following like the old school.
We got lucky though, because, the housing market isn't what it is right now. It was like, you can finagle with me minus $10,000.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Please buy our house.
Right.
Please. Now it's like, how much can I give for my house?
Right. Scalp you for this house.
So yeah, we started doing house projects. Gwen had her first walk.
Yeah.
Gwen had all just about of her major firsts.
Yeah.
She didn't do crawling or rolling over. That was in Dutch Hill.
In Dutch Hill. Yeah.
Oh, remember her first laugh? We have that on a video.
Yeah. In the bathtub.
Yeah.
I think she was 4 months old.
But yeah, our relationship hit its stride because I just remember, like, I pulled Gwen out of Nicole because Heather was like, "Do you want to catch her?" I'm like, "Yeah." So, I pulled Gwen out, and I almost dropped her because they put you in like this rubber.
Like a plastic suit thing, right?
Yeah, rubber plastic suit. And Nicole's like, "Don't drop my baby." Because she had an epidural. So she was just like...
Yeah. I was like, what?
That was gnarly labor. Sorry for backtracking here. That was gnarly labor.
Yeah. I feel like it was... I don't know. I had a lot of Pitocin in me.
Yeah.
But my water was leaking, so I had to do it. So,
Cindy, the roof is leaking.
But really, in all, I was only in labor for 5 hours.
Right.
Where
it was rough, though.
I think it was 8 hours total that I was in like early labor and then like labor.
But your water broke like 2 days before that and you just didn't know it.
It was trickling. Yeah. It started trickling at Benny and Danielle's wedding.
Thanks, Benny and Danielle.
Yeah.
So I leave ESI. Mm-hmm. And I start going to work for Zito Media.
I was going to say 360. Yeah.
No, 360 was after Zito.
Oh, okay.
Zito Media was in Coudersport. So I was commuting in Coudersport, remember?
Yeah.
And I didn't leave ESI. I got fired. But I got a job like really quick.
Yeah.
And I was the marketing coordinator at Zito Media. Mm-hmm. And this was when Gwen was just after she turned 2.
Right.
Because I was working at Zito
when I got pregnant with Gray.
When you got pregnant with Gray.
Yeah.
I was working at I was still working at ESI. And then I got fired.
Oh, they fired you when I was pregnant.
Right. And and I was like, hold on. I need to like get a job.
I'm about to have a baby.
I wasn't the sole proprietor, but I was like the big proprietor.
Right.
So it was less than a month and
it was
got
pretty
the job
fast.
at Zito. I was making slightly less money, but it wasn't like anything terrible.
Was a job, and they were hard to come by.
I really liked that job too.
Yeah,
that's where I met Diddy.
think you did like that job.
Yeah, I liked Stephanie, all the people that I worked with there. I was just bored because we were still doing like paper mailings. I was designing paper mailings.
Yeah.
Boring. And I saw this, this job come up for 360 Rise, which was the 360 video company in Olean. Mm-hmm. So then I started
commuting. Those were rough. Yeah. You would get home at like 7 something every night. And that's when I'd be putting Gwen to bed.
Yep. And my boss, was a super brilliant guy, but he was not a great boss, which I found out after I'd started already.
Yeah.
He was like the sunshine and rainbows if you come work here. And then all of a sudden it's like the company's in a big lawsuit and
right. Surprise. Not the buckets.
But had you started teaching at Alfred then?
No, not even close.
It wasn't? No. Spoiler alert. But but I only worked there for like 5 months, 6 months.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Because we had Gray when I was still working at Zito Media, and I only took 3 days.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, that was awful.
It was terrible because I'd just gotten the job.
Right.
And it's like, oh, by the way, I'm having a baby
in 2 weeks. Yeah, that was rough.
Gray's was easier. Gray's delivery was way easier.
Oh, so easy. Yeah. It was like 2 hours.
I didn't catch Gray. I wanted to just relax.
In the moment.
For Gray. So I was back by Nicole. So I was able to hold you this time.
Yeah.
Which I'm glad we had too, because I was able to pull one out.
Yeah.
Gwen, and then I was able to just be with you.
Yeah.
For Gray, and Gray kind of just like went.
Well, I didn't get an epidural for Gray too, so the birthing was more involved.
But you got. So what happened was we were there, and they induced you.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, like the inducing was like.
Right.
We're ready to go.
They only put me on level 4 out of 20.
Yeah.
It was like, all right, this is enough for her. She's going crazy.
So, but the pain was starting, so they just gave you something because they thought it was going to be a while.
Like a Tylenol, but a little stronger than a Tylenol. Yeah, I don't know what it was.
It was some sort of painkiller, though. It was a painkiller. And it hadn't kicked in until... after you
I was
pushing.
like pushing. Yeah, I was like pushing
right.
Yeah, it was weird.
Because they wouldn't give Gray to you.
Yeah.
Because you were high, essentially.
Yeah, they were like, oh, you had him so fast that we have to monitor him too. Because they were like, he probably has that still in his system because it was still in your system.
Right. And he was fine.
And he was fine.
Big boy.
He was
9
9.5 pounds. Yeah.
Yeah. And, but yeah, they didn't give Gray to her. So I was like with Gray and she's like, where's my baby?
I don't even remember that.
Yeah. You're like, no, you weren't like freaking out. You were just like, where's my baby? Cause you were high. You were like enjoying life, which was probably worked out better.
It probably worked out.
Because you had Gray and then you're just like,
I'm going to just chill, man.
La, 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 la.
Yeah.
So we, I have that video too. I love that video.
That was I don't mind that video. Yeah. I don't mind it.
You don't mind the video?
Well, I mean, it doesn't show my body in a positive light, but but I am birthing a child, so it's a good one. I like it.
Yeah. They gave you Gray and everything worked out great. And then my boss at 360 Rise, I was working like 60-hour weeks.
Yeah.
Because I get home late.
You were late.
Yeah. And he's like, hey, I need you to start working weekends. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, I need you to start working weekends. And I'm like, dude, I'm a dad.
Yeah. And you were hired under certain pretenses.
Yeah, I wasn't getting paid anything for all the extra hours I was working.
Right, because they're like salary.
Yeah, because he was losing money.
Yeah.
And I'm not putting him down. He was a very smart person. He just wasn't that great of a boss. But what he said to me was, work should be more important than family.
Oof.
Yeah. Remember that? I called you. I was mad.
Yeah.
And I quit 2 days later. Because I had found, like, I literally just went online and found a job at that campground, right?
Yeah. Did you, when was the second time you went back to the hospital? Remember you had the...
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
So you're still working at Bolivar and I was working at 360 Rise, but my boss said that work should be more important than family. So I quit 2 days later and I went to work for that campground in Bath. Mm-hmm. And then like a month or 2 months after I started working there, the campground was bought out by Campgrounds of America.
Yeah.
And they just so
weird.
Let everybody go. So I'm like, oh, okay. I don't know if they let everybody go, but they definitely let like the newest people go.
Right.
And so I'm like jobless again.
And then,
with Gray.
So Gray was born the same month that I got my master's.
Yeah, because it was May. Gray was born a day after me. I held him in.
He's like, don't have this baby on my birthday. But we...
Because I bought the nurse's birthday cake and pizza.
Yeah.
I bribed them to have Gray.
Yeah. I'll give you pizza and cake. So I got my master's May when Gray was born. And then as soon as I got it, I started applying to colleges.
Yeah.
Like the minute that I got it. And I was interviewed by Alfred in July. And then I got hired to teach in the fall.
Yeah.
And that's when I was teaching at night.
Yeah. I remember that.
So I'd teach at Bolivar.
Because I'd work at the day.
Yeah.
And then I'd come home and watch the kids.
Yeah.
Gray is a baby. Gray and I used to be bros.
Yeah.
He doesn't like me anymore.
Baby Gray.
Yeah. He's such a fatty.
He was such a fatty. Little
big head.
Fatty roly-poly. Oh, I wish it would be fast to find that favorite picture of mine.
But so I'm jobless and I'm just like, what if I started my own business?
Yeah.
And once again, you're like, okay. Because you had just gotten work at Alfred. So you were the...
when did you start it, though? It wasn't until the spring semester. Because I was a lecturer.
March,
yeah.
But because I went to the Accord small business class.
That was my condition, right?
Yep,
I was like, you
can start your own business if you go to the Accord small business class, which is probably one of the smartest.
Or take a class or something, but that was the best thing you ever did.
Decision I've made in my professional career.
Yeah.
Because I met so many people, and I had already been freelancing, so I had gear.
Right.
Yeah. And
Because you were doing projects for Saputo on the side,
and I started working for myself.
Yeah.
And then at that time, you were hired as a full-time adjunct.
Yeah. So then at that summer, I applied for professorship, and that's what I did in the fall. And that's where I've been for 6 years now.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
This is my 5th year with Genesee Valley Media.
Yeah. That's wild.
But life kind of just balance. Like obviously we still have disagreements.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, everything's kind of just plateaued.
Mm-hmm. It's nice.
I miss this. It's
this nice
grind.
not feeling like we're in crisis mode all the time.
No, I miss the grind though.
Yeah.
I'm getting fat.
Well, you can grind. I can plateau.
That's later. But yeah, we're just happy.
Yeah.
What would you say? Oh, so we made it through the timeline. We're up to today.
Mm-hmm.
We've been raising kids, and it's been a struggle and a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome. Would recommend.
Yeah.
Also, it's never a good time to have kids.
I think that's the thing.
You just got to do it and go with it. But we had kids so early.
Yeah.
By the time we're like 48, they're going to be able to. They'll be able to fend for
and
themselves.
we'd been together 9 years
Right.
before we had our first kid.
We had our trials and tribulations.
So we were able to deal with a lot of stuff first.
Yeah.
Yeah. And live together beforehand. And then it was not crazy.
Mad craziness to people who don't live together before they get married. I wouldn't say mad respect. I'd say that you're crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's worked out with one friend, I think, that we have. Maria and Pavel.
Yeah.
They're super happy, and
So
they're
far.
adorable.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
It's been like
4 years.
3 years maybe.
I think it's been 4.
Was it during
We're
COVID?
old. She was with Pavel. She was like just starting to date
Oh,
Pavel.
I was talking about when they got married. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they've been together.
Yeah. No, it's true.
But yeah, live together before you get married for sure.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think our biggest strength is?
Our history.
Yeah.
Or like the time itself.
Right.
Like it's been 18 years. So, I mean, when we finish each other's sentences and you're like, we got to get a divorce.
I know, we got to get a divorce. We've been together for too long. Because we can't quite literally. We are that couple that can read each other's minds. And I think that early, like in our relationship, my buddies at least, like I just want what you and Nicole got. I just want what you and Nicole. It's true. You've heard it before from some of them.
Yeah.
So we were kind of like we're the veteran couple.
We kind of are. We've been together the longest from all of our friend groups, right?
Friends ask us for parenting advice.
Yeah.
I think we do all right. We're definitely not
so.
perfect parents, but I think we're
Our kids aren't a-holes
right.
to other people.
Right.
Just to me.
Just to me. I mean, sometimes they're a-holes to other people.
Yeah. Not often, though.
I think that our biggest strength is that we are so opposite.
No, yeah.
No or yeah?
Well, maybe.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
Because you're like an introverted, safe, let's think about this
Forever.
type person. And I'm like a what is the term now? I'm an extroverted Labrador or like golden retriever.
Friends.
Right. And I'm like I'm more of a let's do this.
And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it takes me some time to convince you.
I usually go along with your plans.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I would make no plans.
That's true.
Because I'd be 100% happy just being at home. Chilling.
Like a villain.
Chilling like a villain.
But I think that's our biggest strength is that we kind of can opposites attract each other.
Yeah.
And you pull me down when needed.
Yeah.
And I kind of push you
a
little bit to do things. And also my cooking ability.
We don't starve. There's no more bag meals.
No more bag meals.
No more.
But yeah, I think that's what our one of our greatest strengths.
Yeah.
And our ability to talk with each other. Mm-hmm. And my talks are sometimes louder than your talks.
Maybe talk isn't the right word then. Communicate.
Yeah.
Forcefully. No.
Well, no. So I'm the type of person that when I get mad, I'll get it all out.
Yeah.
Right there, right then. And then I'll be chill. And Nicole's the type of person that will just hold everything in until it reaches its boiling point, and then she'll be like,
and the thing that hits the boiling point is probably something really small.
Yeah.
But it's 97,000 things before it that caused it to explode. Because I do have a really long fuse.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's too long, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's where it works out because I was like, things need to change.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of times it's about that one thing.
Yeah.
They all shall not be named. But no, I think most of the things that are in our relationship now are just new things that we just kind of work through, and we always work as a team.
Yeah.
I think is also important. I listen to you and you listen to me, sometimes begrudgingly.
Yeah.
But if one person makes more sense, we go with the person that makes more sense.
I think we're both pretty reasonable about like making realistic decisions and stuff.
Because I'll have ideas and you're like, I don't think so. I'm like, but why?
And I'll be like, reason 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
And then I'll think about it and I'm like, how vexing. My vocabulary isn't that strong. I just did that for tonight. Like, poop. But yeah, we do work as a team.
Yeah.
And we parent as a team. We're not afraid to be alone with our kids.
Yeah. And you are really good about making sure we have date nights.
Yeah. It's true. So I say that the hierarchy goes, for me, is Nicole, kids, work, everything else. Fishing might be above work. I don't know. But
fishing is definitely above work. Sometimes fishing is above kids for you. Can we be honest?
But Nicole's goes work, school, kids, me. So that's another thing. We're just opposite and we kind of meet where I'll
average each other out.
You'll just have like a freaking 2-week binge where I don't even see you because you're just down doing your homework. And I'm like, hey, we need to do something.
Yeah.
And then you're like, no, I can't. I have so much to do. And then I pull you away.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I need to be pulled away.
I know. 3 more years.
3 more years. You're a boss, bitch. Oh, you're a boss. But yeah, I think that's how we work out so well.
Yeah.
And marriages work. Mm-hmm. For sure. It gets easier.
As you know someone better, usually it's easier to understand their communication and things like that.
So this is Nicole and I's life before we knew each other. And this is our life after. We've been together longer than we've been apart in our lives, which is wild.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's another part of our I keep wanting to say like institutional history. We have institutional history between us because we literally grew up together.
There's so many inside jokes.
Yeah.
That's your
That's
excuse.
my problem.
You're like, you can never get a divorce because you would have to retrain all these inside jokes that we've had over the past 18 years.
It would take too long and you wouldn't remember them all. No, what would happen is your new girlfriend would be like,
this dude's weird.
Something. She would say something and then you would say some kind of inside joke response and she would get it. And then you would be like, broken heart.
I ripped my shirt open.
No, it's a broken heart. You're heartbroken. She doesn't know my jokes.
Yeah. We've been together long since
we forget what they even are is my problem. I'm like, oh, those smoothies, what this one's from.
Yeah. We forget we've been together so long. We've just been making them subconsciously for so long that we forget where they're even from.
Because we started.
We're like, don't push last night when we watched Men in Black. Don't push the red button.
Oh, the button.
You never push the red button. It's from Men in Black.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was from Men in Black. Or for you, baby.
I could be. Yeah.
That's why that works. 'Cause I turned the bass up on this microphone so I can sound more manly, and it makes me sound like Antonio Banderas. For you, baby, I could be.
Ooh.
Right?
That was good.
Oh, my crazy voices too. You're used to that. we like similar music though. Like the things that matter, we both like.
Yeah.
Like, we like the same foods. We have the same travel destinations that we like to do. Mm-hmm. You do begrudgingly like to fish. Most of the time she's reading, but she'll catch the biggest fish.
It only takes one cast.
Right. But I'm like the fun and you're the
Practical.
realism. So like I'll be the ones that searches Google Maps for stuff for us to do or find new places to take the kids.
Yeah.
And you're just the backbone that keeps all three of us alive. So do you remember this? Did you remember this? Did you remember this?
I am an eternal list maker in my brain.
Right.
Forever.
What's your favorite memory of ours?
I don't know.
Close this out because we should probably close this out. It's been 2 hours, I think, almost.
Has it? Oh God. I don't know. How can I pick one? I need to think about it for a second. Do you have one?
I loved. We didn't even talk about when we got married. We've had so much shit.
Yeah. This could take a week.
Yeah, but I think my favorite
Puerto Rico. Yeah.
No, I think my favorite thing that we've done ever. Oh, well, how about this? Favorite thing that we've done, just us two, and then favorite thing that we've done with our kids. Mm-hmm. My favorite thing that we've done, just us two, is probably definitely Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
On our honeymoon.
Mm-hmm.
And all the crazy sexy stuff. No, but I think going on our honeymoon to Puerto Rico was great.
Yeah.
That was our first big travel.
Yeah, we did the snorkeling and
the boat.
The dinghy.
The dinghy boat.
Yeah. That was so much fun and terrifying, and I was having a heart attack the whole time.
Yeah. Nicole doesn't swim in open waters.
It was deep. And there was
I was diving down with the stingrays, and you're like,
stingrays.
Steve Irwin just died 2 years before that.
I was like, someone just literally got killed from this.
Oh my gosh, I'm reconnected with Dad, and I met Jerry when I was with you.
Yep. You were 17, right?
We really did just the base timeline. There's so much stuff.
There's so much.
So many little side quests.
Yeah.
But I think, so my favorite memory, just you and I, is Puerto Rico for our honeymoon.
Yeah.
And then I think that my favorite thing as a family, and I think Maine eclipses Puerto Rico, because we did go to Puerto Rico as a family because we were going to go on our 10-year.
Yeah.
But COVID happened.
Mm-hmm.
So we just we went the next year, but we're like, let's just take the kids. Why not?
Yeah.
And I know that's going to be your favorite as a family.
It is. Yeah.
But I don't know. There's just something magical to me about Maine.
Yeah.
That I can't explain it.
I'm so glad that you liked it, because when I originally brought it up, I was like, oh, he's never going to go for this. But we're trying to think of things on the East Coast.
Yeah. Because we had the camper, the baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
We just sold.
Drive it.
But yeah, Maine, I don't know. There was just something magical about it. Like we'd have awesome days, and it wasn't hot.
Yeah.
Like it was hot, but it wasn't like Maryland hot.
Right.
And we'd like fishing at night on the pier with the locals while you would
The
read.
crabbing was really fun.
Crabbing, going out on that charter, best charter we've ever been on. That guy was like all for the kids, but I called multiple people to find the right
Yeah,
person.
you're like, how are you with kids?
Yeah.
How are you with kids?
And man, first fish on, boom, right to Gwen. And I was like, this guy's legit.
Get it.
Yeah,
Maine was
the
great.
sunsets, because they were like purple. It was just it was beautiful up there. Lobster at the
And the
campground.
kids tried their clams, those
Yeah,
clams.
when
That
we
was
went to
fun.
the Portland to the closed planetarium. Sorry. So what, have you thought of them yet? You've had time.
Of what?
It's only 18 years of things to go through.
Oh, well, I was going to go with our 10-year anniversary trip to Lake Champlain as my favorite trip we did, the two of us.
This too is us, a recent one.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I'm not committed to that answer 100%. And then Puerto Rico.
That was awesome though.
Yeah, it really was.
Because
But my memory is trash, so it's probably just because it's the most recent one.
we our Puerto Rico trip got canceled, so I'm like, what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
So I just managed to find everything was still. It wasn't like peak COVID. Well, it was 2020. Yeah, it was peak COVID.
But it was August.
Right. So they had just opened back up from the shutdown.
Right.
Like they were gradually opening things up, and this woman put her lake house.
Yeah.
Like that day.
Oh, so
on it, and
gorgeous.
I nailed it. It was like $500. It was dirt cheap because you just wanted to rent it.
It was so
It was
gorgeous.
right on the water.
It was so nice. Yeah.
Blueberry picking.
Yeah. And that ice cream shop. And we did a lot of things up there.
I would wake up 5 a.m. every morning and put the Hobie out because Fred let us borrow his Hobie.
Yeah. Oh, that was fun.
The cabin in the woods was fun. Oh. That's where Gray was formed.
Conceived.
Formed.
Yeah. Cabin in the Woods was good.
Yeah.
They're all good.
Puerto Rico was definitely your favorite as a family.
And you know what I think makes it Puerto Rico it for me is the Vieques, and the fact that like everything we did on the main Puerto Rican island was fun and cool and exciting and whatever. But when we took the trip to Vieques and it was like a spur of the moment, we have to leave right now. We only have the clothes on our back and one set of clothes in this backpack.
This can be another episode.
Okay, well, we got to stay there for 3 days wearing these 2 pairs of clothes.
Yep, I didn't have contact solution or anything.
No, it was a mess. But then we did it, and it was like
we made it work.
We made it work, and it's like
we stayed at a hostel.
Yeah, yeah.
That we didn't know if we could even get into. Remember?
With the wild horses and the mangoes and the kitchen, it was such a cool thing.
Negro Playa.
I really loved it.
Or is it Playa de Negra? Or was it Negro de Playa? Negro de Playa.
Like the Black Beach.
Yeah.
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 That was so fun. But I think the fact that we can just, as a family, go to a little island on a ferry, spur of the moment with the clothes on our back and just, good thing we had a cell phone charger. I don't know. But
we grabbed it out of the car. It was in the...
Yeah, I was like, what can we possibly have out of this car, right? And we were like scrambling. I see a swimsuit.
No, because we didn't have the plug. Remember, I asked the front desk if they just had an extra plug, and they did, that someone had left.
Oh, I don't remember that part.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had the cable because it was plugged directly into the car.
Oh, the rental car.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's true. Yeah. And that, like, as a family, we can literally just adapt to anything. Yeah. And I think that's cool. And I think that was really just like island life feeling. Magical. It was really cool and magical. Yeah.
Well, I love you.
I love you too.
Do you want to go get freaky? Thank you for watching this episode of NDVision, the podcast that you can see. What did I say it was? The visual podcast you can listen to. NDVision, the visual podcast that you can listen to. Stay tuned for our next episode, where I'll be talking about Jawbreakers. I just made that up.
And the flies are in our nose.